أنا اسمي آدم، أنا عندي 18 سنة. أنا مولود في نيويورك. بس رحت وعشت في مصر لما كان عندي 8 سنين لحد ما أنا كان عندي 17 سنة، ورجعت أمريكا ودلوقتي بتعلم في فوردهام يونيفرسيتي.
So you said that you grew up speaking Egyptian Arabic when you were 3?
Yeah, so I was speaking Egyptian Arabic when I was 3, but then I came to like I was in the US, so I went to Egypt like right after I was born for like 3 years, but then I came back here when I was 4, and I got confused with I guess American English, so I got really confused between the two, and then my like learning was more centered towards English for the next 4 years until I moved back to Egypt when I was 8. Um, that's when the revolution happened. So I mean that's kind of important in the context where like basically like we went out for a bit, but we basically didn't do shit. Like we're kind of like what we're doing right now with the quarantine. Like I would just watch the news because like it was way too dangerous to go outside, and they canceled schooling. So at the end of the day, I kind of like learned more Arabic than English at one point, and that point was pretty much until like I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm. And whom did you like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whom did you kind of speak it with? I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, just wondering kind of like who did you originally speak Arabic? Was it just like at home, or is it like did you learn it in school, or was it like did you learn English in school primarily?
Okay, so when I was like a kid, I just talked to my parents in Arabic, but like with English, I had to talk to everyone in my school, and sometimes I'd say a few questions to my parents in English just because my teachers wanted me to do that because like they knew prior that I had an issue with like my language. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. And then later on, when I was learning Arabic in Egypt, I was basically speaking Arabic to everyone at that point.
Mm-hmm. Do you continue to speak it at home?
Yeah, I do. I do. I speak it every day, and like I do have friends that I call in Arabic. But learning English in Egypt was actually a hobby for me. So we had movie channels. Like the difference between I guess like America and like some other countries is that we actually watch the TV. And yeah, so there was like this one channel called NBC2. NBC2 just put up all types of like movies, and a lot of them were in New York, but I'm like, yo, I lived here when I was like 8, like whatever, like let's just watch a few. But then I loved movies a lot, so like I kept watching them, and then there was always the Arabic translation at the bottom. So I was like, well, but it was in like Saudi Arabian Arabic, so it doesn't really help much. But like pretty much later on, I started getting really good with English just because I heard the way people pronounce shit over movies. So yeah, I pretty much was basing my knowledge off of movies, and like I guess when I was a teen, I watched a lot of Minecraft videos. So yeah, there was
Mm-hmm.
that.
And like it's kind of interesting because you spoke Arabic and then you were in the states for a bit. You said right, and then you went back to the Egypt and then came back to the states.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so would you? Which one
Yeah.
would you consider like? I guess your primary language, if you even have, or a consideration for a primary language.
Damn, that's a hard question, honestly. But I think it's like more like I feel like now it was like it's English, but like if you talk like if you were in Egypt and you asked me that question, I'll tell you Arabic.
Hmm.
It's
And
just because I
yeah.
don't speak it anymore, and I don't know. I think you've heard this before, but like I feel like I have two different personalities. Like I feel like if I'm talking in English, like I'm like the American version of myself, but if I'm talking in Arabic, I'm like the Egyptian version of myself. And those two personalities are way different. I was like a crazy person in Egypt, but when I came to like America, I tried to like I realized how chill everyone like was. Like I guess in the movies, I know that's kind of ignorant, but like I had nothing to base my perception of America on except the movies I watched. So I'm like, okay, well I guess like I guess we're not in a third world country anymore, so I should, abide by like the laws and like try to make, less friends than enemies just because I'm also in a new place, right? New country.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but when I talked in Arabic, I felt like I wanted to like I felt like I was like more I guess like rowdy as like because that's just how I was in Egypt. I didn't do anything like particularly crazy, but it's just like, you know, I had friends I would go out a lot. But like in America, it was kind of not the case just because it was a new place for me.
Mm-hmm. And I assume you learned to read and write in Arabic, and just because you went to school in Egypt.
Yeah, we also had religion class, which kind of contributed. So we kind of learned like Arabic of different dialects just so you could read the Quran
Mm-hmm.
or like the Bible if you're a Christian. But like there were only like four Christians in my class.
Mm-hmm. And did you like? I know. In Arabic, it's you have, I think we were talking earlier about the Fusha, and you have the spoken language, and you how did you kind of like deal? Because like I know that the standard Arabic is quite different from the dialects, or at least the spoken language. And so, like, how did you kind of manage the two? Because I know for a lot of people that like are studying Arabic, it's a very confusing thing to like think about. Like, oh my god, you have to write it and it's read it in a different way, and then speak it in a completely different way.
Contrary to popular belief, like the formal Arabic you're talking about, it's like usually the Arabic taught in schools, but like the Arabic is so damn hard, and like everyone's so used to like I guess more colonial Arabic. We only learn that just so we can like go through school.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're like in college, our readings are in that type of language. What we do, I guess, to split it, that's a really good question, by the way, because like it was actually like I didn't even like realize it until I left Egypt. The way we just think about it is if we were like reading a different language, but like we'd remember that like the tenses of the words are like quite similar. So you could find out what the word is eventually if you like you get the context behind like the tense of the word, like whether it's like past or like it's kind of different. But like when you read it, like you'll understand that like you'll understand the context based off of each word, but you have to read it over a few times. So no one really knew that type of like Arabic well, but we still kind of knew it to the point where we could read it. But I don't think anyone like would speak that type of language to anyone in Egypt. We'd just talk in colonial Arabic.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of the census that I've been kind of getting, at least from the Arab community and like the Arab language community, and that you know, I know like in the Arab world, Egyptian Arabic is used a lot in movies, if I'm not mistaken, and basically in children's books too, right? I think you guys have um, like children's books are written not in sometimes not even in the standard Arabic, but in like the basically a written form of like your colloquial dialect. Is that something that you would agree with, or that you've seen?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, like most of the books that are written in Arabic are written in Egyptian Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not many people take account the sound because like every different Arab countries like dialect they like it sounds all right to them. But I guess if you were a foreigner like and you were translating it to like English to Arabic, if you're trying to read like Harry Potter in Arabic, it would sound a lot more easier for you and it would sound way less taxing on your voice because like here's the thing, you like and the difference between like dialects of like Arabic and like Saudi Arabia and Egypt, like in Saudi Arabia saying like how are you is like kif halak, like you have to like you know hit like pitches in
Mm.
Arabic or like kif shisme, like it's a clear difference between like that and like Egyptian Arabic of like how are you, like in Egyptian it'd be like Amil A, which is pretty much anyone could say that. So it's pretty much like Egyptian Arabic is easier, and a lot of people think it sounds better. Like Saudi Arabian Arabic and like I guess more like formal Arabic is like it sounds weird off the top of the tongue. It's like like it's like German. It's like German. Like it just sounds really strong and bad.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. And I guess would you say like do you strongly identify with kind of the Arab culture? Because it seems like it had a fair amount to play like an impact because a lot of people, especially in the United States, their parents are immigrants and so they grow up speaking that language and there's kind of like um, some people I strongly identify with their culture of origin or like their family's culture, and some people don't. But in your case, it sounds like you kind of grew up half and half.
Josh, you'd be surprised that a lot of people in Egypt and in other Arab countries, they don't identify with the Arab persona. I mean, it would be wrong to call it a persona, but basically, like, in the Arab world back in Egypt, I guess, like, it's very hard to, like, I guess, like, hold hands with someone, kiss, I guess, go dating. Like, you can't really, like, do the stuff you do in America, like, pretty much like you had to be really religious at one point. Like you can't even drink beer. Like men and women will chastise you for drinking beer. So it's kind of like a Sharia law thing. But basically, I feel I identify as Egyptian, and I'm proud of being Egyptian. But like, I'd say that I'm pretty much Egyptian. I wouldn't delve into the Arab world so much, but
Or
I
yeah, I
definitely
guess when I
identify
when
with
I,
it a
when I
lot.
yeah when I meant is like, do you strongly identify with like an Egyptian culture and like the Egyptian Arabic language?
Oh yeah, I definitely do. Like
Mm-hmm.
I respect it a lot, and I guess the difference between in America and Egypt is like you could just live your life differently in America, but I wouldn't say that makes me American.
Mm-hmm. And I guess how do you think growing up, maybe speaking a second language, has sort of impacted your life? Because it sounds, again, like it's a big part of who you are. And do you think that it's maybe, helped you, maybe even restrained you? Kind of what are your thoughts on that in terms of how it impacted you?
I feel like in the long run, it's very beneficial, like very beneficial, because I feel like more people like you'll just like learn how to like use it to your advantage more. Like you can make more connections through it. Like definitely, like I made connections through speaking Arabic in America actually,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like like when I first came to America, it kind of taxed me because I don't know, like when I first came here, it's like I didn't even know how to respond in English or Arabic. Like I'd say my first like class in like high school, like I accidentally responded in like Arabic, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I feel like it's very beneficial. Like once I get a grip, like once you get a grip of like like your second language that you're trying to learn, and you could speak both of them pretty like on a normal basis, then you'll know how to differentiate between them, and like you'll be way better. Like, and you'll know how to use these languages to your advantage. So I'd say, and overall, it was like very good. I learned English.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything that maybe you is there anything that you like about your language or possibly even dislike, maybe linguistically, culturally, or kind of what are your opinions on the language itself, or I guess maybe um, the culture that kind of represents that language?
As much as like I'm not really like into Islam, I'd say the whole Arab world is very interesting. I actually love that like I'm part Arab because like like it when you speak Arabic, like don't get me wrong, it's a different dialect, but you could somewhat understand every single like other Arab countries like Arabic. So like you immediately like can establish connections between like Jordanian people, Moroccans, like, and it's great like overall like to learn different languages, like to like be like to know Arabic especially just because like you have a huge connection. There are like 1 billion Arabs in the world, like and yeah, like even and like in your job, like you'll eventually come across someone who like speaks Arabic, and it'd be like wait like they would respect you a lot more if you spoke to them in Arabic rather than English. But that's with any other person, like they just prefer you speak their own language than like English. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. And
it's a rich culture.
yeah, yeah, no, and I've definitely, when I was dabbling in Arabic, that was probably one of my more of my favorites, and like I really enjoyed kind of learning about the Arab world and specifically like Egypt when I was studying Egyptian Arabic, and I guess you know do you continue to kind of immerse yourself aside from speaking at home, like in um, your background or in like your language? Is there anything that you kind of do to consistently, I guess, feed your brain with your language?
Yeah, I do. I always read like the Egyptian newspaper online. I don't do this because I like reading newspapers. I just want to know what's happening in my country while I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But I do read like I'm gonna take a course on Arab like history because I think the history like if you take like if you go back to like the history of like the Arab world, like it's very different than what it is now, and it's crazy how like secularism and like modernization has changed the Arab world like so much. And I do like go on like the internet and try to search and like learn more about it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so it sounds like, so it's just pretty involved with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your country is a hard thing to rip off of you, honestly.
Yeah. Well put. Well put. Yeah, and I guess kind of to wrap it up, so I have like an image over here that I'm not sure. Can you see it?
Is it with the person on the computer?
Yeah. How would you describe this image? I think you kind of gave it away, but what words would you use to describe it?
I would basically describe it as, I guess, someone doing work, honestly. But I mean, it looks like the person's doing a lot of work. So, I don't know how to express it, but like, I don't think the person himself is important. I feel like the context of what he's doing is. So
Mm.
yeah, I feel like it's just a person like doing work.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to answer these questions and kind of share your thoughts on speaking Arabic and stuff like that. And actually, as a follow up question, because you speak both languages, both Arabic and English, what would you advise someone who is studying Arabic to do? What kind of, I guess, maybe helped you learn or strengthen your Arab understand or your Arabic knowledge?
Um, I mean, do what you did when you like were learning English. It's gonna be harder in Arabic, but like I'd say like don't look at it as a chore. Like if you want to get a good start, just like listen to like Arabic music. Like Arabic music is beautiful, in my opinion. If you don't like Arabic music, you can always watch Arabic music, like movies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, also like talk to like people in Arabic if you can. If you like, there are lots of like people who speak Arabic in Beirut, Astoria. Like, try to communicate with people. And, like, if you say like, "Hey, I want to learn Arabic," they'll definitely help you out. Like, they're really like anyone would like love to like teach you Arabic if they can,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
or just go on Duo.
Mm-hmm. Duolingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they released their Arabic course a couple months ago, maybe even a year ago.
Yeah. If you're interested in it, I think you're gonna learn it. So yeah, just try hard.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for being with us, and yeah, thank you for watching, and that'll be it for this video. Take care.